Here's what you missed on Phathead and Cande in the morning. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.
My Country 96.1, Phathead, Cande, Roth. One of the things that we're all missing, at least I'm missing, even though I'm not in a rush to go sit in a movie theater, I miss movies, Cande. I miss going the movie-going experience, Cande.
Now, was I dreaming, or is AMC thinking of closing forever?
So there was an article. It's funny, my sister sent this. We originally mentioned the story that AMC was going to close. They couldn't handle the downturn in business. And then my sister, like a day or two later, sent me a follow-up article, said they may be able to save themselves with some kind of bailout or something. But I believe movies are going to go by the wayside anyway in theaters because we're all moving towards a pay-per-view at-home movie system. I mean, it's the same way we used to go consume music. You used to go to the store and buy music. Now you get it at home. I think that's going to happen for movies. I think the coronavirus, the pandemic, just sped up the process, Cande. What do you think?
I think you're right, absolutely. But I long for those. Wasn't it fun to go to a record store and go through everything and see everything? And I used to love that anyway.
So before we get to my movie story, which I do want to get to, I was having this conversation with Leah. So we were in the kitchen making food. It was all of us. We were all in the living room, the kitchen, and we had some music on one of these Alexa things or whatever. And the music's on. And we're playing music. And I said to Leah, because the other kids don't care, but Leah's old enough to understand. I said, Leah, do you know when me and your mother were kids, a group would put out an album. They would work years on an album. They would put the songs in just the right order, and you would wait for release day, and you'd go to the record store, and you'd buy it, and you'd rush home to pop it in your CD player or cassette player or record player or whatever it was, and you would listen to the album front to back to hear how the songs meshed together and everything. And when that album was done in about a year and a half, the group would work another 2 to 3 years and release an album. It wasn't this song. It was like a work of art. And I had this whole discussion with her. How wasn't that amazing to do that, Cande?
Everything, the album notes, every bit of it, you just digested it, made, so good.
I mean, and the way,
wait, and then you run, please.
Artists would work tirelessly to figure out which order they're putting the songs in, and then you listen to it, and you just the whole. I mean, it's amazing. I could go on and on.
Artwork, everything.
It was
everything.
Art. The whole thing was art. Now back to the movies, which are a similar experience. I will miss the movie-going experience in theaters, and if they all do move to the pay-per-view house experience. But here's what I have for you: are a bunch of behind-the-scenes 90s movie facts that may startle you a little bit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So here's one for you. Do you know Titanic almost starred, instead of Leo and Kate, almost starred Matthew McConaughey and Claire Danes?
Well, I can almost see that. I would say, not bad. If I can't have the two that already starred in it, I think those are good second choices.
I could see Claire Danes.
I could absolutely see her.
Independence Day, the big blockbuster. The U.S. military was originally going to supply costumes, props, and planes to the movie, but the movie producers refused to remove references to Area 51. And because it was so highly classified, the U.S. military said, sorry, we will not lend our planes to the movie. Interesting.
I think that was probably best, don't you?
Yes. The Sixth Sense, the executive who bought the screenplay for Disney, bought it for $2.25 million and lost his job because of it, because Disney said, what, are you nuts? That is $2.25 million for a screenplay. Anyway, Disney fired him, and the rest is history. The movie was a monster, Kim.
A monster. Shouldn't he have gotten rehired?
I guess so.
Gotten something?
Armageddon.
Talk about life being unfair.
Do you know, in Armageddon, Ben Affleck, they play oil drillers who have to be trained to become astronauts because they have to drill something up on Mars or the moon or something. Well, Ben Affleck once asked the director, wouldn't it be easier, plot-wise, to take real astronauts and train them to be oil drillers instead of taking oil drillers and training them to become astronauts? Michael Bay, the director, was not happy that Ben Affleck was questioning his script.
Right.
his judgment. Bruce Willis was originally supposed to star in Ghost with then-wife Demi Moore. But
I could see that.
Didn't work out. He gave it up. He passed on it.
Could see it, though.
A couple more for you. Twister. Do you know each tornado was the sound of a camel's moan just lowered to a different pitch?
I had no idea about that.
Each tornado in Twister. Toy Story 2, originally the sequels were supposed to go direct to DVD. Luckily they didn't. The movies made more than $3 billion worldwide.
All so good.
And Home Alone writer John Hughes wrote the screenplay for Home Alone in 9 days and the last 44 pages of it in 8 hours. And the rest is history, Candy.
It sure is. It sure is.
My Country 96.1.
Phathead and Cande in the morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.